Unfortunately, revenue from private corporations through advertising revenue is unavoidable for a lot of public broadcasters. And this is because public broadcasters, a lot of them aren't properly financed. For example, the CBC only gets $28 per capita, compared to countries like Norway, who gets $180 per capita. And the NRK in Norway is one of the best public broadcasters in the world. But like I said, a lot of them aren't properly financed, so they have to rely on advertising revenue from private corporations in order to keep afloat. But this becomes problematic because once you have income coming from private corporations, the public broadcaster begins to serve two masters when it should only be serving one master, the people. And this is especially important when it comes to the issue of news. The news is pretty much the only thing still made in-house at CBC, and public broadcasting has a very important relationship with the news. And I have Wade Rowland's book here, Canada Lives Here, and chapter 7 is all about public broadcasting and the news. And he says, freedom of the press is a central pillar of any democracy for the simple reason that citizens must have access to news and information to make informed decisions. And the important part here is freedom of the press, and the freedom to publish any stories they feel are important to the public. However, this is where there becomes a problem when, there's commercial breaks during the news, and corporations have their commercials. Public broadcasting, they just want the revenue so that they continue serving the public. That's why they have revenue from the private corporations. But then it becomes a problem because they may hesitate to publish some stories that put the corporation in a bad light. For example, CBC might not want to bash on Tim Hortons when Tim Hortons is paying for a commercial every commercial break, because that's a lot of their revenue and they don't want Tim Hortons to pull out, get offended. They want to walk that line of serving the two masters. But when you're serving the corporation's interests, you're not serving the people's interests. So that's where it's not working out. Yeah. Also, another important point of why they should be not financed by corporate sponsors is that if they're being financed by ad revenue, then CBC is going to want to appeal to a larger audience, because larger audience means more eyeballs, means more revenue from advertising. However, when you do this, that kind of leads you down a slippery slope with some shady tactics. And again, another quote from Wade Rowland. He says, CBC television news has slowly edged in the direction of mass marketing and entertainment. Crime, weather, and sensation have been bumped up to the top. Serious documentaries have all but disappeared. Government is covered more and more as a spectator sport and less in terms of public policy. There has been a noticeable decline in the caliber of reporting, writing, and editing, evidence of a waning commitment to expensive quality control. And this is why public broadcasting needs to be properly funded by the people and the government and not private corporations, because their mandate is to serve the people. However, with every corporation that they get into bed with, they get further and further away from fulfilling their mandate, which is to serve the people.